Hare Krishna. Today I am reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, which I have bought from the ISKCON temple. Means, what is the magic of Srimad Bhagavatam? Just enter in this adventure and hear and listen what will happen. So, there are the 18 books or the 12 canto in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, I am reading one canto and this chapter 24. The name is Chanting the Song sung by Lord Shivji. Just hear and listen only what is the magic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nice. I am reading only translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, Vijayasava, the eldest son of Maharaj Prithu, who had a reputation like his father's, became emperor and gave his younger brothers different directions of the world to govern, for he was very affectionate toward his brothers. Maharaj Vijay Sabha offered the eastern part of the world to his brother Haryaks, the southern part to Dhumraks, the western part to Vik, and the northern part to Dravin. Formerly, Maharaj Vijay Sabha pleased the king of heaven, Indra, and from him received the title Antardhan. His wife's name was Sikandani, and by her he begot three good sons. The three sons of Maharaj Antardhan were named Pavan, and Suchi. Formerly, these three personalities were the demigods of fire, but due to the curse of the great sage Vasishtha, they became the sons of Maharaj Antardhan. As such, they were as powerful as the fire gods, and they attained the destination of mystic yoga power, being again situated as the demigods of fire. Maharaj Antardhan had another wife named Nabaswati, and by her he was happy to beget another son named Havirdan. Since Maharaj Antardhan was very liberal, he did not keep Indra, while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice. Whenever Antardhan, the supreme royal power, had to exact taxes, punish his citizens, or fine them severely, he was not willing to do so. Consequently, he retired from the execution of such duties and engaged himself in the performance of different sacrifices. Although Maharaj Antardhan was engaged in performing sacrifices because he was a self realized soul, he very intelligently rendered devotional service to the Lord. Who eradicates all the fears of his devotees. By thus worshipping the Supreme Lord, Maharaj Antardhan, wrapped in ecstasy, attained his planet very easily. Havirdhan, the son of Maharaj Antardhan, had a wife named Havirdhani, who gave birth to six sons named Bhavisat, Gaya, Sukla, Krishna, Satya, and Jita were. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, Havidhan's very powerful son named Parisat was very expert in performing various kinds of fruitive sacrifices, and he was also expert in the practice of mystic yoga. By his great qualifications, he became known as Prajapati. Maharaj Barhisat executed many sacrifices all over the world. He scattered kusa grasses and kept the tops of the grasses pointed eastward. Maharaj Barhisat, henceforward known as Prasinabharhi, was ordered by the supreme demigod, Lord Brahmaji, to marry the daughter of the ocean named Satradruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful, and she was very young. She was decorated with the proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company, exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Sukhi. While Satadruti was thus being married, the demons, the denizens of Gandharva the great sages, and the denizens of Siddhalok, the earthly planets and Nagalok, also highly exalted, were all captivated by the tinkling of her ankle bells. King Prasinabhari begot 10 children in the womb of Satadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prasitas. When all these Prasitas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all austerity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When all the sons of Prasinabhari left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shivji, who out of great mercy instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prasinabhari meditate upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Vidur asked Maitreya, my dear Brahman, why did the Prasitas meet Lord Shivji on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shivji became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them. The great sage Vidura continued, O best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities engaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shivji. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact. Lord Shivji, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnuji, is self sufficient, although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world. For the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like Goddess Kali and Goddess Durga. The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all, all the sons of Prasanabhari very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul, and with these words on their heads, they went toward the west to execute their father's order. While traveling, the Prasitas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appear very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a watery reservoir. In that great lake, there were different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish, and some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, some in the day, and some, like the Indirvar lotus flower, in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flowers filled the lake so full that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shores there were swans and cranes, chakravak, karandau, and other beautiful water birds standing about. There were various trees and creepers on all sides of the lake, and there were mad bumblebees humming all about them. The trees appeared to be very jolly due to the sweet humming of the bumblebees, and the saffron which was contained in the lotus flowers was being thrown into the air. This all created such an atmosphere that it appeared as though a festival were taking place there. The sons of the king became very much amazed when they hear vibration from various drums and kettle drums along with other orderly musical sounds pleasing to the ear. The Parasitas were fortunate to see Lord Shivji, the chief of the demigods, emerging from the water with his associates. His bodily luster was just like molten gold. His throat was bluish, and he had three eyes, which looked very mercifully upon his devotees. He was accompanied by many musicians who were glorifying him. As soon as the Prasitas saw Lord Shivji, they immediately offered their obeisances in great amazement and fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Shivji became very pleased with the Parasitas because generally Lord Shivji is the protector of pious persons and persons of gentle behavior. Being very much pleased with the princess, he began to speak as follows. Lord Shivji said, "You are all the sons of King Prasinabhari, and I wish all good fortune to you. I also know what you are going to do, and therefore I am visible to you just to show my mercy upon you." Lord Shivji continued, "Any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the control of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me. A person who executes his occupational duty properly for 100 years became qualified to occupy the post of Brahmaji, and if he becomes more qualified, he can approach Lord Shivji. A person who is directly surrendered to Lord Sri Krishna or Vishnu in unalloyed devotional service is immediately promoted to the spiritual planets. Lord Shivji and other demigods attend these planets after the destruction of this material world. You are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me and that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. Now I shall chant one mantra which is not only transitional, pure and auspicious, but is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it carefully and attentively. The great sage Maitreya continued, out of his causeless mercy, the exalted personality, Lord Shivji, a great devotee of Lord Narayan, continued to speak to the king's son, who was standing with folded hands. Lord Shivji addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead with the following prayer: O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all glorious unto you, you are the most exalted of all self realized souls. Since you are always auspicious for the self realized, I wish that you be auspicious for me. You are worshipable by virtue of the all perfect instructions you give. You are the super soul. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you as the supreme living being. My Lord, you are the origin of the creation by virtue of the lotus flower which sprouts from your navel. You are the supreme control of the senses and the sense objects, and you are also the all pervading Vasudeva. You are the most peaceful, and because of your self illuminated existence, you are not disturbed by the six kinds of transformations. My dear Lord, you are the origin of the subtle material ingredients, the master of all integration, as well as the master of all disintegration, the predominating deity named Sankarshan, and the master of all intelligence, known as the predominating deity Pradyumna. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. My Lord, as the supreme directing deity known as Anirudh, you are the master of the senses and the mind. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you again and again. You are known as Ananta as well as Sankarshan because of your ability to destroy the whole creation by the blazing fire from your mouth. My Lord, O Aniruddha, you are the authority by which the doors of the higher planetary systems and liberations are open. You are always within the pure heart of the living entity. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you. You are the processor of semen, which is like gold, and thus in the form of fire. You help the Vedic sacrifices, beginning with Chaturhotra. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you. My Lord, you are the provider of the Pitralokas, as well as all the demigods. You are the predominating deity of the moon, and the master of all the three Vedas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, because you are the original source of satisfaction for all living entities. My dear Lord, you are the gigantic universal form which contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. You are the maintainer of the three worlds, and as such, you maintain the mind, senses, body, and air of life within them. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, by expanding your transitional vibrations, you reveal the actual meaning of everything. You are all the all pervading sky, within and without, and you are the ultimate goal of pious activities, executed both within this material world and beyond it. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto you. My dear Lord, you are the weaver of the riches of pious activities. Your inclination, disinclination, and the resultant activities. You are the cause of the miserable conditions of life caused by religion, and therefore you are that. I offer you my respectful obeisances. My dear Lord, you are the topmost of all, bestower of all benediction, the oldest and supreme enjoyer amongst all enjoyers. You are the master of all the world's metaphysical philosophy, for you are the supreme cause of all causes. Lord Sri Krishna, you are the greatest of all religious principles, the supreme mind, and you have a brain which is never checked by any condition. Therefore, I repeatedly offer my obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, you are the supreme control of the worker, sense activities and results of sense activities, karma. Therefore, you are the control of the body, mind, and senses. You are also the supreme control of egotism, known as Rudra. You are the source of knowledge and the activities of the Vedic injunctions. My dear Lord, I wish to see you exactly in the form that your very dear devotees worship. You have many other forms, but I wish to see your form that is especially liked by the devotees. Please be merciful upon me and show me that form, for only that form worshipped by the devotees can perfectly satisfy all the demands of the senses. The Lord's beauty resembles a dark cloud during the rainy season. As the rainfall glistens, his bodily features also glisten. Indeed, he is the sum total of all beauty. The Lord has four arms and an exceedingly beautiful face, with eyes like lotus petals, a beautiful highly raised nose, a mind attracting smile, a beautiful forehead, and equally beautiful and fully decorated ears. The Lord is super excellently beautiful, on account of his open and merciful smile, and his sidelong glance upon his devotees. His black hair is curly, and his garments, waving in the wind, appear like flying saffron pollen from lotus flowers. His glittering earrings, shining helmets, bangles, garland, ankle bells, waist belt, and various other bodily ornaments, combined with conceal, teas, club, and lotus flower to increase the natural beauty of the costume purse on his chest. The Lord has soldiers just like a lion's. Upon these soldiers are garlands, necklaces, and epaulets, and all of these are always glittering. Beside this, there is the beauty of the king costume money pearl, and on the dark chest of the Lord there are streaks named Savers, which are signs of the goddess of fortune. The glittering of these streaks excel the beauty of the golden streaks on a gold testing stone. Indeed, such beauty defeats a gold testing stone. The Lord's abdomen is beautiful due to three ripples in the flesh. Being so round, his abdomen resembles the leaf of a banyan tree, and when he exhales and inhales, the movement of the ripples appears very beautiful. The coils within the navel of the Lord are so deep that it appears that the entire universe sprouted out of it and yet again wishes to go back. The lower part of the Lord's weight is dark and covered with yellow garments, and a belt bedecked with golden embroidery work. His symmetrical lotus feet and the calves, thighs, and joints of his legs are extraordinarily beautiful. Indeed, the Lord's entire body appears to be well built. My dear Lord, your two lotus feet are so beautiful that they appear like two blossoming petals of the lotus flower which grows during the autumn season. Indeed, the nails of your lotus feet emanate such a great effulgence that they immediately dissipate all the darkness in the heart of a conditioned soul. My dear Lord, kindly show me that form of yours which always dissipates all kinds of darkness in the heart of a devotee. My dear Lord, you are the supreme spiritual master of everyone. Therefore, all conditioned souls covered with the darkness of ignorance can be enlightened by you as the spiritual master. My dear Lord, those who decide to purify their existence must always engage in meditation upon your lotus feet as described above. Those who are serious about executing their occupational duties and who want freedom from fear must take to this process of bhakti yoga. My dear Lord, the king in charge of the heavenly kingdom is also desirous of obtaining the ultimate goal of life, devotional service. Similarly, you are the ultimate destination of those who identify themselves with you. Aham Brahmasmi. However, it is very difficult for them to attain you, whereas a devotee can very easily attain your lordship. My dear Lord, pure devotional service is even difficult for depleted persons to discharge, but devotional service alone can satisfy